It's Monday, 17th of March, meaning it is St. Patrick's Day, and we do have the man, the myth, the legend, Ron DeArmond here from the Academy of Wildlife Education. And what are we going to talk about? I have a funny feeling it has something to do with green.
Hey, it's St. Patrick's Day, and I'm sure by the end of the night people will be seeing green frogs and trying to lick them and all that fun stuff.
Oh, yeah. Even though those aren't the ones you want to lick,
absolutely.
Just for the record.
But no, we're going to do a little stretch today. We're going to talk about frogs and chocolate milk and politicians today.
All right. You're going to tie those three things together.
Like I said, you thought I was making a stretch last week with the Canadian lynx and the moose.
Right.
Well, now we're going to see what type of a concoction.
All right, man.
It's not a cooking segment. We're not going to do mix the ingredients, but tomorrow's a big day as far as Iowa and conservation goes. It's Environmental Lobby Day up at the House, right? Okay. And so from 9 till 1 tomorrow, there'll be about 30 environmental groups out there talking to politicians. The biggest thing that we're trying to get people to tell their politicians to get funded is I Will, which is the Iowa Water and Land Legacy Act. It was passed by the people of Iowa a couple of years ago, but in typical politician form, there was no funding behind it. So yes,
that old trick.
Absolutely right. So we need to get, I think it's 3/8 of a cent is all that we're looking to get to fund this project. And what it would do is it would help water.
3/8 of a cent.
Right.
I need break a penny.
No,
absolutely.
Sorry, don't have it. So.
But again, it would help our water quality, it would help our land quality, it would help environmental tourism, and which benefits Iowans. And so it's a big day. They're asking people to wear blue shirts when they go and lobby the politicians. One of the things that scared me the most last year when I went up there was when you bring out the new elected officials and you talk about I Will, and they've got no clue what it is, and these people are the ones that are going to have to vote for its funding.
Right.
So a lot of education needs to be done up there at the State House. And we're going to spend some time up there and talk about those types of issues. It's also REAP's 25th anniversary, which is how we get a lot of our environmental education funded.
Okay.
And they're trying to get it fully funded. We've been the bridesmaid a number of times as far as not getting the funded because there wasn't enough money in there. It's supposed to be funded at about $25 billion, and typically it's $14 to $15 million. So projects that we do not get funded because it's not fully funded like it's supposed to be. And one of the things that we make visuals, make the contact simple for everybody. This is why we brought the frog and the chocolate milk. They call runoff out of a field chocolate milk being poured into a stream. And so
we'll see it. It's spring.
It's spring, right. You're going to see it the most.
That's what it looks like.
And it looks a lot like chocolate milk. And so you wouldn't want to put a green frog in chocolate milk and expect it to survive.
Right.
And so, it would be like if we take one of your glasses here full of chocolate milk and then dump our frog into it. How long do you think he'd survive?
Probably taste a lot like the coffee normally does.
Absolutely right. So that would be the thing that we're trying to, the visual that we're trying to get people to realize is that our amphibians, again, water quality is very important to them. And so we want to make sure that we don't have all of that sediment runoff. We've got turbidity and siltation problems at Saylorville and Red Rock Lakes. The silt's building up in them, and it's definitely going to have a huge negative effect on the amphibians and other animals.
Now, these guys are early indicators of a problem usually.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we use amphibians to determine the health of an ecosystem, and amphibians and frogs in general, they're having some major issues right now, getting some funguses that aren't good, and a few other environmental problems. They get cancers real easy if there's too much acid in the water and stuff. And it's just a bad thing all around. So, in Iowa, we actually have a volunteer program to count a particular species of frog in the spring and summer months. That people can go to the Iowa DNR website and learn about volunteering and being a frog counter.
Okay.
You learn the call of the frog, and that's how you know what the population is. It's kind of like what we do up in Wisconsin during the summer. We howl for wolves, and when they howl back, we know they had pups or whatever. whatever.
Cool.
Really?
So in Iowa, it's a little different. We listen for frog calls, and so you listen for this particular frog
And
call.
DNR would have the information on that?
Yeah, you can go to the DNR's
have to do that.
website, and yeah, you guys can go out and listen for frogs.
We have a creek right behind the house. So
There you go.
check
See if I can trick the boss into doing it for work hours.
There you go. Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Ted. I got to go count frogs.
Got to go count frogs, and and it's going to be on the Monday segment.
Right.
So
There
that's
you go.
the cool
You're doing
thing.
show research.
You're doing, yeah, show prep.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. It's kind of like, we could all drink chocolate milk and, play with the frogs, and it's show prep.
Now,
That's
the water here really is an embarrassment. I mean, I think, in Iowa, and I've lived here my whole life, so I can complain about it.
Right.
Bill Stowe, we've heard at the waterworks talk about last year how bad the quality of water from the raccoon was coming into the waterworks. They have to spend extra money to treat it.
Right.
We have to pay extra money because of that. And this is a big problem in Iowa.
Yeah, we have a big problem with nitrates, and that's another thing that the IDOLS is working with Department of Ag, is trying to get the nitrates reduced and getting buffer zones established. A lot of our situation would be corrected if we just had those buffer strips in front of the waterways to help filter out the nutrients and stuff. We need more wetlands put in place, which would benefit the frogs also. But we just have to realize that there's a finite amount of land, there's a finite amount of water out there, and if we don't take care of it, the earth isn't going to be able to fix it. And we are the problem, but we can also be the solution, and that's part of getting involved. You really do have to contact your legislators. When they see that face-to-face or they get the phone call, it does make a difference. They do pay attention. And so if one day out of each session, we go up to the House and let the politicians know that people care about the environment and ecotourism. It'd bring more money to the state of Iowa if we have better water quality. You don't want Red Rock and Saylorville to silt over.
Right.
That is a real problem.
Is there any way to clean that up, have they said? Is there any way to get rid of that?
No. I mean, the whole project was designed to last X amount of years. They knew there was going to be problems with it. But it can be, monitored and managed, and, the inevitable, slowed down.
Right.
So it just comes down to, if we want to, we can make a difference. And I think that's the lesson everybody needs to understand, is we all need to be better stewards of the environment. Take care of your backyard, take care of your back 40, set the template and be an example for the rest of the country.
There you go.
Kind of cool.
So no licking the frogs today, but I guess you can carry one around if you don't want to get pinched.
Absolutely right. We advocate carrying frogs in your pockets. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to, but I had
Not anymore.
No,
Not
I don't have that
anymore.
yellow slicker anymore, man. When I was walking to school on a rainy day, I'd be picking up worms and
All right,
frogs.
so tomorrow is going to be a big day around here. Not only today, St. Patrick's Day, tomorrow, St. Joseph's Day. A lot of people know that, but
Sure.
you're doing something else here. And you get, instead of wearing red tomorrow, like a lot of people are going to, blue.
Blue is what they want you to wear at the on the Capitol premises and stuff like that. And we're still talking green. If you really want to take green seriously, tomorrow's the day. I mean, it's all about the environment, and everybody can get involved.
Okay, now they can probably stop by and talk to you a little bit about that today if they come
Sure,
over.
yeah, they can come over and talk to us about what's happening at the House and some of the bills that we're looking at. But the big thing is, the state of Iowa, the people of Iowa, they wanted the Iowa Water and Land Legacy Act funded. That's why we voted it to be approved years ago. Now you got to kick the politicians a little bit and say, you know what, just because you made it sound good, now put your mouth where the money's at and let's get this thing funded.
All right, so it's spring break for a lot of people this week too, and so parents might be thinking about a place to bring their kids to, for an afternoon or whatever the case may be. How many, I'll put you on the spot here, how many green animals do you have over at your place in case they want to take some kids out today for St. Patrick's Day?
I think green frogs. That's we got 3. Yeah, the turtles.
Turtles,
the turtles are green.
And then you get to see all the other animals too.
Everything.
But use that for an excuse to go see some green animals.
Absolutely right.
Okay.
If you need an excuse to go play with something green today, we've got.
Come on out over there.
Absolutely.
Over at Merle Hay Mall.
Every day.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Good job.
Yeah, appreciate
Good
it.
thing. Good luck
Thanks,
tomorrow,
guys.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Let us know how things go.
We will.
It is 7:51. We'll be